it's my pleasure to introduce to you my friend, Harvey Nelson. Harvey has graciously agreed to be the entrepreneur in residence at both the law school and the College of Business, and he's the inaugural entrepreneur in residence, and he's been very helpful in my legal clinic. Harvey, along with Steve Marks, founded Main Street Gourmet in 1987. It started out as a small muffin shop on Main Street and has grown into this multi-million-dollar business that Harvey, I think, is going to tell you a little bit about.
We started, my partner and I, Steve Marks, his uncle bought a building in downtown Akron. This was in the mid-'80s. And it hadn't been used for about 15 years. The roof had been leaking for 8. And it was bought at a sheriff's sale. So we were going to renovate that building. We were going to make it into, he had an accounting practice. So we were going to we're going to renovate the building on the second floor. We're going to put him in there on the bottom floor. Well, if we put anything that was in retail to bring people downtown, we get loans and grants. So we conned a bunch of our friends and family and all that to give us money, and we were able to get the building. We got money. We went out and secured some SBA loans, and we put a muffin shop in the first floor. So that floor, and to give you real quick, that was about 1,800 square feet. So I'm going to give you like the real fast summary. We went from about 1,800 square feet there. Eventually we outgrew it, so we're selling muffins over the counter like a donut shop. We eventually needed more room. We went down in our basement, so that's another 1,800 square feet. This all started, business opened in '87. By '91, we had to move into about a 10,000 square foot facility. It was an old Fisher Street. Then we built our own plant in '95 at about 25,000 square feet. In 2000, we added on. That became about 55,000 square feet. And we're still there. We're at Ascot Industrial Park, and right now we're using all kinds of outside storage space, and we're contemplating adding on again. So that's sort of our physical growth. Our product growth, we started with muffins. Eventually we moved to like muffin batter and cookie dough, and then we now do like muffins, brownies, cookies, granolas, bars, cakes, icing, streusel, toppings, things like that. People growth, we went from like 2 people to over 120. Ownership-wise, we started, like I said, with some friends and family. We were an S Corp. In 1996, we sold to venture capitalists, so we became a C Corp. And in 2004, me and my partner bought it back. So, build it up, sell it, break it, run it down, buy it back, and now we build it back up again. So in 2004, we own it, and it's an S Corp. Geographically, we started downtown Akron. We eventually moved to northeast Ohio. Then we started going to the Midwest, the East Coast, and now we're throughout the whole entire country. We've even sold at times in South Korea, South America, and England. Our business strategy, and this is what I think is one of the best things we've done, is just being able to adapt and change. We started with we were selling muffins over the counter, and that was just a retail shop. We eventually went on to creating a distribution network and sales network to sell our stock products to the food service industry, which would have been restaurants, hospitals, hotels, colleges. And then about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that, we became a much more innovative company, and that we now try to differentiate the regional and national restaurant chains or in-store bakeries with custom baked products.
You mentioned you had a great board of advisors. What makes them great, and how did you find each other?
Well, we did, before we sold to venture capitalists, we put together a board of advisors. This was in, we've been in business about 8-9 years, and we had, reading articles and talking to people, and we had a friend of ours, a friend of mine's dad, that built a nice business, and he would meet with me and my partner we'd go to lunches and stuff. He was in business with his brother, and he would always ask us how are we getting along in the partnership. He would make sure we worked on that, because we had a partnership, and that's what he would really focus on mostly. But eventually we said we needed more than that. And we hired, actually the first time we hired somebody who went out and found people. Some of them were people we knew, you know, that we had a connection, and like the guy that I'm talking about, we made sure he was on our board of advisors. And then what we did is we decided, you know, we needed somebody that was, we actually had an investment banker on that, just because we wanted to know about that. You know, we had somebody that was in the baking business, we had somebody that had started from scratch and built something up, you know, that kind of stuff. So we had about 5 or 6. And then eventually, you know, we sold to venture capitalists, and when we did, that went away because now you have a different board, and you know these guys were doing it. These guys did it for free. All we do is feed them, which was a great deal if you can get it. And so now so we went a few years. We bought it back, and we went a few years, and we said, you know, we need to put this together again. And we did the same kind of thing. It was a lot of people we knew. We got you know, actually Gary helped us do it. You know, we sat down to Gary in the summer. We said we want to do a board of advisors, and we put down a list of people we knew that we wanted to go after, and Gary put down some people he thought would be good, and then Gary, that summer actually Gary made a lot of the calls, and then we would go meet with people, and you know, the chemistry there is great because these guys like coming together because they learn from each other too. So if you have your own business or you're starting your own business or whatever, and you don't have a board of advisors, especially you can find, you know, start small with people you know that have more experience, and you know, somebody that's been through whatever you're about to go through, you know, try to get them on your board, and you know we have food we can feed them, so we just stock them up with baked goods and it works. You know, take them to a nice dinner and stuff.
How do you find large amounts of funding without diluting your equity?
What you do is build up your value. Whatever you got to bring. You say you don't have a lot, but you got to figure out what value you bring to the table. You know, if you're bringing you're going to bring your blood, sweat, and tears for yours. You know, are you bringing some idea that only you know? Are you bringing some talent that only you have? You know, if you bring value to that, then you can say, here's my value, and yeah, I need your money, but you know, if you bring no value, and they're just going to bring all the money, and you're going to have to go hire all the talent and stuff like that, then what risk are you taking? What are you adding?